What's up, everyone, and welcome to Punjab for Game 1 in the ESOC Spring 2026 Championship Final Series between Julian and Keturboy. We are currently looking at Julian in light blue, playing as the Swedes. His opponent is Keturboy, playing in the darker blue color, also playing as the Swedes. At this point, I have to wonder if this is some type of agreement between players in the last few series of the tournament to just play a mirror matchup in game 1. I don't know if that's the case. Either way, we've got a civ that I think is very fun and very aesthetically pleasing. Love the colors, the buildings, and it's usually a pretty aggressive civ, though they do have some very good late game capabilities. And also, a lot of things going on with the map currently. Water buffalo being gathered up by both players. Some treasures in the middle of the map. And then getting these torps down early on is always a little bit of a challenge because Swedes start with such a small amount of food. Yeah, and I usually do something like this where I build one initially and have all most vills on food, not even gathering all the crates, because then you can avoid some idle TC time. Then you add in that second torp a little bit later. Looks like Julian might be just a little bit behind in the villager production, so he got that second torp up earlier, but was just a tad bit of idle TC time. I think it'll be fine because I think you do end up getting a little bit of idle TC time going up to age 2. Either way, we are underway. Keturboy has 3 water buffalo. Julian has, how many does he have? He's got 2. So yeah, I can't remember exactly if this is a 5 or 6 livestock map, but right now it looks like Keturboy has a slight advantage there. But there is one remaining, and ooh, Keturboy might end up being able to get that one too, so could have a 4-2 advantage, which is not huge, but it might pay off in some aspect of the game. We'll have to see. As the cows are starting to be gathered from these torps, Julian utilizing the torps that they will gather very quickly from livestock, though the livestock do deplete, so if you want to get as much food as possible out of them, you would put some bills on there. Both players opting to just let the torps handle the heavy lifting and trying to snipe the explorer a little bit there. Keturboy is going to sacrifice some TC time. He's going to have to eat another water buffalo, potentially a third one. Yeah, so 3 of them to make sure he ages up as quickly as possible. Julian looking like he's going to pretty much get idleless 15 vil age up. Keturboy very, very close himself, so either way, both players are going to be very similar in their early game. And wow, look at that. The TC, putting vills in the TC to get that rickshaw wagon usually doesn't have too much value. And that's, I think, something that Julian maybe was trying to bait Keturboy to do, waste some villager gathering. But we'll see if that plays a part in this game at all, as both players going out to herd their second hunt a little bit. Well, let's get into the players here while we're into the transition period to H2. So Julian is well known, obviously, as one of the best, if not the best, especially in the last 5 or so years. Initially coming from Treaty, being really good at that, and then transitioning into Supremacy once he mastered the Treaty format. And he's done that very, very successfully. One of the best players of all time for sure. Keturboy is also really, really good, especially in the last 2 or so years, maybe 2 to 5 years. I don't think he's been around as much, but he has been really, really strong in the last few years, especially, and getting very deep into tournaments. This is not his first finals. I don't know if he has won a tournament yet, as opposed to Julian, who has won quite a few. So Julian probably has a slight edge here, though. They're both probably close to their peak. Maybe Keturboy is closer to his peak than Julian. He's had some time where he's not been playing as much, so he might not be. He might have been at his peak. Either way, his form right now is really, really good. He just had an incredible series against Frontline, and we're looking for hopefully a little bit more competitive series between these two guys. The last few series for each of these players, they did pretty well and took out their opponents pretty quickly. So Keturboy opening up with Dominions. That's going to be the 4 torps. Julian doing exactly the same. He's got his barracks already up and is queuing up Caroline. We have a forward outpost from both players. A little bit of blocking there from Keturboy with the Grove Rickshaw maybe forcing Julian to put this down a little bit farther back than he would have liked. But both players are going to be opening. Caroline, we got steel traps coming in for Julian. Keturboy doing exactly the same thing. 100 food going. I gotta say that Keturboy definitely has had a slight advantage with treasures. He got this coin one a little bit earlier, and then picking up 100 food is really nice at this point in the game. In a very, very early 2 leather cannons. Let's see if Keturboy... Okay, he obviously does... Oh, he blocked? Huh, that's interesting. It almost... That might... It feels like it kind of helps Julian, because it's going to be harder to siege this down, but... I don't know. Maybe he was thinking that the forward base... I'm not really sure the idea behind putting that there. I guess potentially seeing any shipments, military shipments coming aggressively. Have a little bit of scouting information. Okay, Julian now shifting into 700 wood. Let's take a quick look at these decks. Full age 2 and age 3 build out there. Pretty balanced economic and military. And then on the other side, Keturboy, very, very similar deck. Both of them have Jaegers. We got German mercenary contracts in age 4 if it gets to that point. But that's a pretty big shipment that was invested into by Keturboy. Going for the leather cannons this early, that's... You think you want to be aggressive now, because that's a lot of food, and you didn't even get to send 700 wood, which your opponent did. So Julian, let's see, 100 population, so I think he has just a couple more torps at this point. And with that 700 wood, adding a few more and a second barracks. But this outpost is going to be under siege now by these Caroline. For the moment, those leather cannons are not seen, and I think this is a good approach by Keturboy. He has the vision here, so he doesn't want to show them to the outpost. Though one did just narrowly get scouted, and okay, I guess he's not actually hiding them at this point. But either way, we have for Julian now the artillery foundry and 1 leather cannon coming in. That shipment, I believe that one's actually free compared to the food that is required for the 2 leather cannon shipment. 3 husks going to be coming in for Keturboy. He's got a Ville out there ready to build some torps. I think he lost a couple. Yeah, it looks like 2 Caroline go down to that outpost because they do not have that range resist. Instead, they have that melee resistance. So both massing up. Julian's got a large number of Caroline, 25. He's going to get that artillery foundry and already has 1 leather cannon. I kind of feel like Julian's build here might just be a little bit better. He's going to now opt for trying to mass up these leather cannons from the foundry. Gets 1 shot on those husks, and he's got a better mass. The only advantage that Keturboy has at this moment is the additional leather cannon. So Keturboy getting placer mines now, 23 vills versus 24, and looks like Julian's got 4 additional torps, so slightly ahead economically. Julian is, and Keturboy, you know, he doesn't really have a military advantage, so he's gonna send these 3 husks out to raid, try and find a vill that may have been building these torps, but Julian pulled him back earlier, so not gonna find any kills up there. That 3 husk shipment not looking so great for now. What is Keturboy going to do to follow this up? Looks like he's going to try to finish these batches of Caroline, now sending his own artillery foundry and additional leather cannon. Look at that. That is a lot of leather cannons. And Keturboy initially, right away, putting that outpost to fire on a leather cannon that is pretty fragile. So he might actually be able to take one out. Oh boy, this is... And Julian sending 2 additional leathers behind this. So, huge advantage. Oh no, they're getting blocked. 1, oh, that's a Caroline that went down. Very low HP leather cannon here for Keturboy. Husk just getting on the Carolines. Keturboy going in for the leather cannons. 2 of them do remain. Oh, the leather cannon from Keturboy shifts to the forward outpost and the foundry. All leather cannons are down for Julian, who's getting annihilated here, actually. Amazing fight for Keturboy. Shocking. I cannot believe how well that went for him. Look at the amount of units remaining for Keturboy, and still has 3 leather cannons, though 2 of them are very low. Now has his own foundry. This is absolutely insane fight there. I think Julian just wasn't protecting the leathers, and I guess these guys in the back with that bonus damage against infantry really got some good exchanges. Really, really impressive fight for Keturboy. I thought he was nearly losing the game there, and then It looked like for a second it was maybe a mistake that the leather cannon shipped forward with that artillery foundry wagon, but it ended up working out perfectly for him. Julian just getting a little bit too aggressive with those leather cannons. They're so fragile. You got to treat them like little babies and protect them as well as you can. Now, military shipment coming in, 8 pikemen for Julian, and still double batching those Carolines. He's got 6 leather cannons at this point, so that's a really good number. Back ahead in that artillery lead. Keturboy, on the other hand, look at this. I do like this, and actually being aggressive on the map as well, which we know he does very, very a good job of. Getting these Caroline out hunting for some torps that he can kill while aging up off a 700 coin. I think this is a really good approach, but it does open whenever you age up, and he's going to exile Prince, which is going to be pretty quick. It does put you in a little bit of a vulnerable position. He needs to distract and force his opponent back home and defend Vills, and that's what he's doing right now. Now these leathers don't do a great job against buildings, so this is, oh my gosh, it's taking so long, and there's going to be at least 4 Vills going down there. Julian down to 26, and wow, Julian's got to push. This is a crucial time here. Oh man, this is a wild one. Fortress Age has been researched. Keturboy is up. He wants to get these veteran Caroline as soon as possible. He should probably cancel this one. Okay, he's actually just going to queue it up here. Okay, he canceled it at the and got it at the back barracks, the safer one. I like that decision. And you know, Julian's trying to hunt him down on the retreat, but a good decision, I think, by Keturboy to not continue that retreat path, to just kind of try to catch some reinforcing batches, or just at least delay until he gets the upgrade that he wants. And this is why it's so important. I mean, he would have got it in time, but putting that veteran Carolines at the back barracks, make sure it gets completed. Now we're gonna have a huge fight soon to happen with a infantry HP for Julian coming in, still in H2. 2 Falconets coming in for Keturboy. He already has a veteran Caroline. And I feel like we're just waiting for a surround. Here comes Minutemen, probably some villagers. The leather cannons are pretty exposed. Now they're getting drag box to the back line. Pretty good protection from Julian, but we do have leathers from Keturboy. And this is getting messy, but villagers are there distracting. He doesn't mind if he loses a few Minutemen getting melee on these leathers, which are going to go down very quickly. And the 2 Falconets soon to arrive are going to totally clean this up, not even needing the Falconets. These veteran Caroline, still 21 of them remaining. And there's a very quick GG in game 1 of the finals. Keturboy taking the lead to start it off 1-0. And Julian with maybe a little bit of a misplay. This is one of the first times we're seeing, I don't even know if you can call it a mistake. That fight was just such a difficult situation. I think he did get a little bit too greedy trying to get some free pokes on Keturboy's Caroline. Those leather cannons got exposed and he paid for it. So Keturboy played this one very nicely. It chose his timing really well. It took some very impressive fights to take the initial lead in the series. I'm super excited. Can't wait for the rest of this series. Finally, Julian drops a game, and we've got a serious series that's going to be really close. Hope you guys stick around for the next game. We're going to head right into game number 2. Welcome to Saguenay for game number 2 in this best of 9 between Keturboy and Julian. Keturboy won the first game, so he does have to choose his civilization first. That's the rules of this tournament, and he's going to go with French. He's in the eastern side of the map here in light blue color. His opponent, Julian, going with the Ottoman for the counter pick. He is down 1 game. Keturboy took the lead with that quick victory in game 1. But Julian, I'm sure, is going to be able to find his way back in the series, especially when he has Ottoman as his first rebound pick. Both players going for a trade post here. And this is the winter version of the map, so you're not going to find sheep. So Keturboy probably a little bit disappointed. He's not going to be able to get as quick of a 12-10 as you often hope for on this map. So he's going to actually build a house. Yeah, okay, he's got a 50 wood treasure in base that he shot a little bit earlier on the way to build the TP. So he is going to actually go for the probably 14-20. So I do like that because I think 12-10 on a map without any food treasures or sheep is not so great. So I think that's a good decision. I like that we're seeing players at the top level do it, because usually people just follow the 12-10 trend to the end of the earth. Meanwhile, Julian is not going to build a house. He opted for capitalism here in age 1. And we do have a lot of water. We have 4 whales on this map. So potential for water. While we're looking at it, let's take a look at the deck of Julian. He's got engineering school in there, which, you know, that could be... yeah, that does affect great bombards. It looks like it only reduces their training time by 10%, because it says all artillery minus 30, but then bombard plus 20. Either way, that will potentially increase the train rate for bombards, and at least A-boost guns or falconets, culverins as well. Advanced artillery, lots of H4 cards and the battleship. This looks like an FI deck to me, and Julian has been doing quite a bit of that. He's actually made popular the 4 A-boost fast fortress into Spahi into FI with a 1k coin. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that here, though I think France has a decent job countering it. Let's see what Keturboy's deck looks like. Tournament water. So of course these players both making their decks specifically for the map and the matchup. Got pioneers in there. We got a decent amount of H2 cards with 4 resource crates. Got the caravels, frigate, and I'm thinking potentially we have jaguars, but potentially he picked this deck before seeing that Julian did not have schooners, because that's quite a bit of anti-water. Regardless, 4 H4 cards for Keturboy, so missing a little bit of military there, but the 4 culverins are super important, and it's good that he has those there. All right, so how does this play out? Okay, I mean, it's just so tough to scout and play correctly against Ottoman. I'm just really curious how Keturboy is going to read his opponent here, and what his game plan is going to be initially. I think he didn't see. Okay, the foundation was placed, but the explorer wasn't there. He's going to eventually see that his opponent's going to trade posts. A Cree TP has been started for Keturboy, getting hunting dogs. So it looks like it's going to be, and that's that's why French is very popular on this map. You can often go, you have a little bit extra resources to go for Cree natives very early, and that's exactly what Keturboy is going to do. We don't see that for Julian just yet. His macro is making me think this is going to be a straight FF very, very early and very quick. Okay, maybe not. 700 wood is clicked. Do we have 4? We have 2 forward vills sneaking along the way. We have a spy in queue as well. Okay, so a barracks with 2 vills building it. And I think maybe this treasure is going to... That's why the spies come... Oh, looks like an early stagecoach and 5 vills. So very interesting Ottoman build order here. I don't think we've seen this type of thing in tournament play recently. It's usually like the Jan double racks rush, or an FF into Cav Archer and A-boost, or an FI. This is a bit in between, kind of like a hybrid strategy where he's going to go pretty economic. He's going to try to take the TP line, and we'll have to see what he follows up with after that. And Keturboy building his own barracks. He's up. He's got his 4 CDB in. 700 wood is on the way. He's going to train some musketeers. What does he see from his opponent at this point? He doesn't see any military buildings. A scout has been around. He wanted a TC. He probably did see 700 wood, so he probably has an idea that there's going to be some military presence early on. And oh, CDB going up here to herd. And there's the Janissaries, so he knows now what's going on. He's going to finish up this batch of muskets. Probably, I would assume at this point, he's going to go for the 3-card semi-FF. Gonna probably build a church, a barracks, maybe a stable, and a couple houses. Let's see, what does that even add up to? Well, he might not go second barracks. He might just go a stable, church, and houses. We'll have to see. But oh, he's actually training Cree trackers. I like this. They have that range advantage. They have a lot of HP, and this could be actually a pretty solid play here. Ooh, polar bears, unfortunately attacking the CDB as the explorer crackshotted one of them to try to start that treasure up. Muska's going to siege on that TP over there as he sees stagecoach. These Creed trackers, they have 16 range, 13 attack is pretty low, but they have a 2x multiplier against the Janissaries and all heavy infantry. They are pretty expensive though. 80 wood apiece is not cheap, not at all. He's hiding them for the moment as Julian, let's see what he followed this up with, 700 coin. Is he gonna click up here? Because he's got some units in queue and he cancels them. Okay, he canceled them, he's gonna age up. And he thinks he's gonna be able to defend this, but here come the trackers once the Jans show themselves. Now he's gonna be able to siege this freely and easily. Creed trackers, 4.5 speed versus 4, so they're gonna be able to track them down, no pun intended. Actually, yeah, 100% intended. 2 Janissaries going down already. Explorer coming in, trying to stop this with a snare. And he's gonna get taken out. Keturboy's Explorer about to take another treasure, and he's aging up. So, I've really cool build order to utilize the Kree trackers and continue making villagers from that Kree trading post. So really nice, really good adaptation there from Keturboy. There is that church, and he did not go for a stable, not yet at least. Explorer does pick up that 100 wood that he was watching for quite a while. Julian went up with the Exiled Prince, it looks like, and he's got some. Ooh, the native scout got bumped and forced out of stealth, so the Abus were spotted. 1 TP does go down, and now there's about 10 units here for Ottoman to push forward, trying to utilize that range and bonus damage from the Abus. And we have 1k wood coming in for Ottoman. And he's going to be able to get his veteran unit upgrades, probably a second TC, and also rebuild this trading post. Oh, he's going to get some value. Oh, I'm surprised he stopped going. Wow. I guess there's always a limit. When you only have 6 Janissaries there to protect from cavalry, there's a point where you can't push it. You can't force it any further. You got to be a little bit cautious. So, Keturboy up to age 3 with his own Exiled Prince. Age up, 1k wood coming in. He's got his stable now. He's going to be making skirmishers, and for the moment, he's making curs. 135 XP is a really nice treasure to be able to pick up. Where is that spy from Julian? Because this explorer is living way longer than I would have expected. Did he go down, or maybe he just canceled him? Because I don't think I've seen him on the map. He must have canceled him. Let's get a quicker, get those Janissaries out a little bit faster. Make sure he gets a full batch. Either way, Julian getting that second town center after 1k wood came in. Now sending 2 falconets, getting his line of sight upgrades, preparing for a bit of a longer game, it looks like. Just going for his Jan Abus composition. He has veteran of both of them now. Just 22 villagers, because he did send capitalism, didn't send 3 or 5 vills. So you gotta say, in terms of villagers, the French economy is definitely ahead. But you got to take into account stagecoach. Coach is probably about 10 to 12 vills. So it's pretty close, with French probably being slightly ahead, but gathering natural resources that deplete much more quickly than things like the free training town centers of Ottoman and the stagecoach. So a little bit more of a timer on French, who's going for the arsenal. I think we're going to see a massive cur. He already sent 3 cur. Probably going to go cav combat after this. Hiding his units as well as he can. And he's very thankful for the fact that there's no spy out here for Ottoman. Also have counter infantry rifling. What is he going to send now? You would think the falconets, right? I was thinking he was going to maybe go arsenal for the cav upgrade, but opting, I mean, yeah, you really do. It's a great upgrade to have against Janissaries, and sometimes it feels essential. And there is a spy. I don't know if that's the one from earlier, or if that's it probably is. Looks like he also has a kill too. Oh no, maybe that's just the Shadow Tech age up. We got a little bit of an Idleville situation here, getting blocked by his comrades, his fellow CDB. That's a bit annoying. You might see that. He probably sees that in like 2 minutes. It's like, what? I didn't see any Idleville notification. That's frustrating. Skirmisher's coming in, so he's not going for the falconets. And that's a bit of a painful thing right now for Keturboy, is you see just how slow the shipment progression is when having no trading posts other than the Kree TP, which does give some XP, plus the XP from training some units there. Looks like he also got the additional HP on units, tech from the Kree. Both players already getting that. So these Janissaries, 269 HP without the combat card in. And yeah, I don't know. Julian feels comfortable here, it looks like. He's got his 2 TCs at 28 Vils. Got a nice military composition. Isn't feeling like... And he's also now just getting the Kree CDB. He's got a couple more he can train. And that spy, of course, right there, giving vision, making sure he's not going to get his Falcons picked off. Oh, and this is huge information, seeing these Kerr here. Does he? I think he's going to be getting the arsenal upgrade if he hasn't got it already. And this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier that I touched on, is the the natural resources on the map are starting to become a problem for Keturboy, and that is the advantage that Ottoman has in every game, is that they're able to make sure their economy benefits from natural resources for a longer period of time, not having to pay for villagers, plus having that TP line. So that spy does get bumped into, gets unstealthed, but I think he got enough information that Julian... Yeah, that is the effect of having vision in a game. You see it right here. He would not have done this, not even considered to do this without that vision. So having the spy out there, seeing all those cavalry, this creates an opportunity for him to get a very defensive and safe position for these falconets. Even a decent like blockage from these trees here. Just gonna stick the Jans right in here if there's ever any threat of the cav coming in, and it's just gonna be a nightmare for those curs to get on those falconets. So here comes Enderun School as well. These Jans are gonna have over 300 HP very soon, and the Ottoman economy is continuing to grow and probably starting to create a little bit of a gap versus the French economy, especially as the hunts are starting to run out. Though this one is still there, it's not as safe, so Vils aren't over in that direction. These Vils, I wonder if we see a Vil pull at some point. This is getting pretty tense, and it's gonna get to the point where, oh my gosh, 2 Abu split off to deal with these muskets. That's so annoying. CDB looking like they're gonna try and snipe those as some more curs coming in. We already do have cav combat. He's going to get a nice batch of those cur, and it might just be go time. He might just slam it in. That is a lot. And there's more no, okay. 23 of them in total. Double upgraded. Might even... Is he going to wait for hand cav hit points? That seems like it's very far away, but... Wow, this is a situation you kind of hate being in against Ottoman, is where you just feel like you can't wait any longer. You just got to send it in and hope that you've got enough of a mass. And here we go. Julian has the 312 HP Janissaries, 39 of them. Will it be enough? There's counter infantry rifling on these skirmishers for French. CDB are going in to tank and soak up damage, 243 HP of their own. These curs going to the back line, splitting off a few of them to take out the falconets. The skirmishers are still very healthy, untouched from the falconets, but we do have Minutemen from both town centers for Ottoman. More curs, more units flooding in for French. There's a dwindling number of Janissaries, only 8 remain, and there's still 10 curs, and these are double upgraded curs over 600 HP. I think this is a great position, as it seems like only Abus remain against these heavy cavalry. This is going to be a very difficult thing to hold. Pretty good HP on most of these curs. A huge pop is about to happen, though, as the 5 Spahi are going to be arriving. Are they going to come from this town center or the main starting town center? I don't know, because you need to take care of these curs. Oh, and there's even more coming, but they pop on the skirmishers, going to get a nice position, but then immediately surrounded by the French cavalry, and more coming in. This is going to spell the end for these Ottoman Spahi, and likely the end of the game for Julian, as Keturboy is looking great in the initial 2 games, but will the reinforcements be enough, as villagers were coming along for this push and might not be having a great place to gather resources? However, we're back to the situation where it's pure Abus all alone up against Kerr, and that is never a good thing to see. 8 Jans on the way. We have units in queue for Julian, but he's getting raided by even more cavalry. And Keturboy is looking fantastic here. The all-in push. He had no more time to wait. Huge villager kills and a triple kill there by all these curves. And Julian says that's enough. GG. What a push from Keturboy. Absolutely amazing timing. And he's going up 2-0 in this finals. Keturboy looking like he's in extremely strong shape in this series. Wow, I am super surprised. It's 2 pretty quick games. First one around 12 minutes and the second around 16. I don't know if I've ever seen Julian in such a bad shape and this early in a series. This is really quite impressive from Keturboy. So we're going to be going into game number 3 with Keturboy being up 2-0. This is a best of 9, so we do have a long way to go. The player needs to win 5 games to take this final series of the tournament. So we are going to head right into game number 3. Welcome to Grand Chakao for game number 3 in this best of 9 series. Keturboy looking fantastic in the opening 2 games, leading 2-0 and putting Julian in a position that he might not be familiar with at all, being down 2-0 in a tournament series and having to pick first. He went with the Italians. Very strong civilization. I think most top players will say they are one of the best, and on a no TP map they're probably even better, as they have the opportunity to get XP from their Lombards. Keturboy, who has the opportunity to counter pick in this game, went with the British. So both players going with civilizations that have just a single explorer on foot. So the I like this from Keturboy, sending a villager out, and that's exactly what I was gonna get to, is the llamas. There are 8 of them, 4 on each side. 2 and 2 around both sides of the ponds on either side of the map. And wait a minute, look at this. Keturboy sent out a villager. He's gonna build a manor out there, and he's got 6. Oh, I thought I saw it. Wait, where's oh, there's still 2 more here. He has the possibility to get all 8. He barely missed it in the scouting pattern. Julian trying to find a single llama. Not going to come across that. He's going for that early steel traps. You see the macro here. Now switching over. Going to get that free house and Lombard from the architect. And he's going to be having a very strong economy. Slightly slower age up because he gathered the wood for that steel traps. But it's going to be a strong economy. Brits, obviously a strong economy themselves. And having 8 llamas is something you don't ever expect when you're playing as the British on this map, but a very, very smart choice, potentially even like game changing, sending that villager out and gathering those 4 llamas. Really impressive start already for Keturboy. He might even consider going livestock pen at this point in transition. Otherwise he can just hold on to them, let them fatten up, and need them when he use them when he needs them. Though I think you want to make sure you use them before it gets to like the point of the game where it's nearing the end, or it's already a decisive stage of the game. He might also eat. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna eat probably a couple of these. So far, just 1. He's gonna try to save the rest, I think. Nope, he's gonna eat 1 more. Try to get an idleless 17 vil here, even though he was sending 1 villager out to explore. So sacrifice some gathering time there, but still able to get essentially an idleless age up there. Julian has already sent capitalism. Let's take a look at this deck. It's built out pretty much evenly. H2, 3, 4. Lots of H4 cards though. That's standard for Italy. They want to get there as soon as possible. Now it's going to be important to see how he goes about this build order, as we do have quite a bit of idle time here because he has not a single llama. You always expect to have at least 1 to help you age up a little bit faster, and that's got to be a little disappointing for Julian. He's got to feel a little bit uncomfortable at this point, being down 2-0, and then just the first couple minutes of this game losing all 8 llamas. That can't feel good, but he is one of the best ever, so I'm sure he's going to be okay. He's going to be able to get his mental set straight, and he's going to do his best to pick up a game here, which it just feels like, it doesn't feel like if he will, it just feels like when, which is kind of the opposite in his normal series, where he's usually winning 4-0, maybe 4-1, and you're wondering if his opponent's going to pick up a game. In this situation, it's only a matter of time before Julian gets on the board and gets things rolling. So I'm not expecting a sweep whatsoever. And you know what? I just thought about this. I want to take a moment to pat myself on the back a little bit, because I did have to play Keturboy in this tournament, and I actually took 2 games off him. If you guys haven't seen the series, I just want to, I mean, I'm enjoying Keturboy with the lead here, because tournaments have been dominated by Julian in the recent history of Age of Empires 3. So it's nice to see a little bit of a change up, or at least more competitive series. Not that they haven't been that competitive in the finals. They've usually been pretty close, but also if Keturboy wins this, I mean, if I take 2 games off the best player in the game, that makes me feel a little bit better. Anyway, we're up to Age 2. We have Uffizi coming in for Italy. That's going to be the church, and it gives XP trickle while Lombards are working, which this one already is. 250 food was deposited there. We do have 1 architect in queue, and he's building another Lombard with his initial architect outpost going up very, very safely behind multiple buildings in base. Keep that alive as long as possible. Make it very difficult to siege down. So we're gonna have a very quick fast fortress from Italy here. I expect maybe advanced politicians directly next. He could potentially go for a Lombard and 600 coin or 800 food into Lombards, but I think he probably wants to get up fast to Age 3 and get age up with the 6 muskets, which become 9 with advanced politicians. So that's what I'm expecting on that side. Keturboy here, let's take a look at his deck. He's got Spice Trade. There is quite a bit of hunt on this map, and this makes them last longer, and villagers gather faster on them. We have his church card. Got a lot of Age 3 stuff, including 8 musketeers, which is something you don't always see. 600 coin is also something you might not always see. I'm looking at this map. Okay, I was thinking maybe there's like a little of a hunt bug here. The hunts might be bugged, but maybe Julian just did a really good job bringing them in. Though I will say the Brit side does look like it's more plentiful, with a lot of food available, like an insane amount of food in base already. This could be a little bit of a hunt screw situation. And looking at the mines, we've got a 2nd one, 3rd one, 4th one, kind of close. And Brits has 2nd one, 3rd one, 4th one. Yeah, I would say Brits got a solid little advantage based on the map generation. We'll see if that comes into play here. I would hate for that to be the case. And that would, I mean, just a bad turn of events for Julian potentially. We'll see how this ends up playing out. But 700 wood, 600 wood for Brits. Barracks in base. And lots of manners. 2nd barracks going up. And now Spice Trade pretty early. 3rd card in Age 3 and Age 2. It looks like Keturboy is playing this out in Age 2 for quite some time. Still 18 vills on wood, so he's trying to get that full manor count going. He's got 3 more that he can build. His vision is not as good as you might see with some British players, like when Azad has his vills out there getting total vision of the map. But I think regardless, he's going to be just fine. It's just a little bit sad to see, but he's just trying to get those vills and manners up as quickly as possible. So on the Italian side, we did see that extra Lombard and 600 coin coming in, and we do see the XP trickle from all Lombards because of that Uffizi card. Muskets in queue, but being canceled there. I think Julian's looking to potentially go straight up to industrial, which is something that most civs are not able to do. But I think he's gonna be able. He's just gonna cancel this musket. I think he's just gonna cancel it and just age up, which makes me wonder, like, why not just send advanced politicians before hitting the up to Age 3? I guess. I mean, Age 3 is the longest age up. Like, you can cut a significant amount of time off of that, plus get the 3 extra muskets, and then you also get the extra age up benefits going industrial. Though, I mean, at this point, you're gonna get to industrial very quickly. But I just kind of feel like, I don't know, maybe the 3 muskets, 3 additional muskets are not. I don't know. the fortress age up time is the fastest in the game, so you cut off a lot of time there. Anyway, he's going to be going up with the Papal Guard, and he's going to get a whole bunch of extra units there with that age up, and then he's going to be dropping resources into Lombards, maybe going for this 2,300 coin into Lombards there, and then going into military shipments. We'll have to see what the card order is for him. He's got 2 architects at this point, 2 barracks as well, and he's got 6 musketeers from that age up. So Brit musketeers going in, very nicely built base, I will say. Julian's got this built out supremely well, and it's going to be quite difficult for Brits to really push through into this base and get much done. And there's the age up, the Papal Guards. How many of them do we have? 10 of them, and skirmishers in queue. I would think he's gonna go, it depends how he wants to. Okay, he's gonna force the pressure. He's gonna force British to make some choices, as these bombards will be coming with lots of siege and supporting units to protect them. And Keturboy is still in H2. He's got his 47 vills. He's eating his llama. He's trying to get massive batches of musketeers. And here, this is what I really enjoy about Keturboy and his map presence, his awareness, his APM. It's all just amazing. And you can see the triple racks coming in. Musketeer batches are going to be ridiculous, and the units are going to be all over the place. So I do think we're going to see a surround on. I think he expects the bombards to be coming, and he expects pressure. The outpost is going to be up front, ready to give him notice when that's coming. And I think he's going to stick this out in H2, adding a spy in to give additional vision and give him the best opportunity for a good surround on these bombards. And you know, these units in Italy in general is super snowbally. Like, if you can take a good fight, take out the bombards, and still have a decent mass, you can be in a great position. But if you lose the fight, you don't kill the bombards, or you like are forced to back up because you're just not in position, that can be really bad and really quickly, as these military shipments are pretty insane. 13 Halb is going to be coming in now. This is going to be very, very scary for Keturboy. And look at the speed on these skirmishers. 5 speed as these guys are marching across the map, ready to snipe down these musketeers. Look at these guys. They're actually running. They want to get into war. They cannot wait to kill some musketeers. And we have guard halbs in queue at the barracks as well. So very, very high quality units coming in from Italy here. The musketeers from British do have 2 cards on them as well, so they're pretty strong. They're essentially veteran. And here is the surround that I was referring to. Units coming from every direction, literally 4 sides, as musketeers come from the east, the west, the north, and the south. But these skirmishers are so fast, he's going to be able to actually escape from this. Let's take a look at Julian's view. He sees another group of musketeers coming, as the heavy artillery and heavy infantry are way back here. These guys are slow-moving units, of extra slow-moving right now. I'm not sure why they're moving that slow, but these skirmishers being controlled very well for Julian, trying to get as much value as they can, but I think they're going to get sniped down. Eventually, the surrounds are going to make contact and force an engagement at the edge of the map. These bugle boys trying to make their way out. And 180 HP is actually ridiculous for a skirmisher. More HP than an H2 musketeer with HP card. But here comes the heavy. Oh my gosh, the villagers going flying across the map. This is the real challenge, right? Okay, you sniped out like 10 skirms, although they did get some value killing some musketeers, and now there's 12 more on the way. How do you deal with these bombards? The answer that Keturboy is going with here is an age up, as we do see a huge mass of musketeers raiding villagers, and this is exactly what Keturboy needs to do. He needs to buy time. He needs to force his opponent to react, to retreat, to make decisions and tough decisions where he needs to be on the map. But there's a growing number of bugles out here, and these musketeers are kind of stranded, as more musketeers trying to close in on the other side here. He's going in while he's aging up. I'm not sure about this choice here. He was going to be able to get culverins, but he's choosing to take the time now, go in on these bombards, try to get into melee, These guys are beefy units, 600 HP, 75% range resist. The halbs are tanking still. The papal guards still remaining, a few of them, as these skirmishers are all closing in for Julian as well. He's got 28 of them right here. Second bombard finally going down, and this will be the time for Keturboy to retreat as much as he possibly can, as these units are not sniping, but well, yeah, sniping, but stunning the musketeers in the bizarre mechanic that they have built into them. Their bugles confuse their opponents, and that extra speed is absolutely brutal. He's got a batch of Hussar, which is going to be crucial here, and 5 more on the way. But look at how fast they are, and they're so strong. They might be able to just take out these Huss on their own. What does Julian have following up here? This actually could be trouble. He's got 7 guard halbs, but they're very far away. As the, oh my god, a triple stun. Look at these Hussar. They can't even close the gap. They're getting stunned by these skirmishers. What the hell are we actually watching? I gotta tell you, man, I hate that mechanic. That is just baffling. There's no way they should have escaped from 10 Hussar here. But 3 consecutive stuns on these Hussar have completely turned this fight and the game. It looked like there was potential for Keturboy to clean up those skirmishers, or at least do a lot of damage before the halbs got there, but that idea is completely gone, as this stun mechanic stuns enemy unit and increases allies movement speed upon killing a unit. Absolutely ridiculous. How are you supposed to escape from this? This is just brutal. 5.38 speed. You're never gonna escape. Oh, I'm sorry to be so biased in a game, in a finals game that I'm casting, but there's some things that can really get to you. Like Ottoman is one thing, but man, when you start to see Italy that is utilized by these top players, you can see just how strong this civ is, and these units. They're absolutely insane. 24 attack. You don't even have to get the guard upgrade. It's got to be very frustrating for Keturboy at this point. And let's see what does he have to answer this at this point. He's been eating through the hunts for quite a while, even though Spice Trade has helped him preserve them a little bit. He's at 53 vills, second town center is up, but these musketeers just getting absolutely zero value. And there it is. There's the GG. Devastating skirmisher mass. And I gotta hand it to Julian. He did a really good job kiting there, and I don't know if it's a skill. I think they just automatically stun. I don't think you have any control over that. So I got very fortunate there. Not that it would totally change the fight or the game anyway. Julian had a really solid build, and these age 4 shipments. He's already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shipments in from the industrial age at the 16-minute mark. So that tells you just how much XP those Lombards are supplying to the Italians, and just how few shipments they need to get up to industrial. Usually it's more than just 4 shipments to throw yourself up to in the industrial age before like the 11-minute mark. But either way, got to give Julian credit. He's back in this series, back on the board, getting the score to 2-1, still down 1 game, but he's alive. He is ready to turn it on and get back in the series, potentially tie it up in the next game, which will be game number 4. We're gonna head there right now. Welcome to Mexico for game number 4. Julian took that previous game to bring it to 2-1. Keturboy still in the lead, but Julian looking to tie it up here. He went with the United States actually as a counter pick. Keturboy was the one to choose first here, and Julian decided, let's do a mirror. He's going to be picking up this wood treasure with the villager, punching down that coyote and winning that little battle there. Villagers in the TCO to help take out that coyote a little bit quicker. And a little bit of idle TC time here. Julian trying to pull things off with getting this treasure. I wonder, I'm just kind of curious about the thinking there, because it looks like he's not going to build a house. Oh, maybe he is. Okay. I guess you can still go capitalism, right? Like, you don't need to send, yeah, you don't need population, so you can make 1 more villager and he'll have it in time. 60 food here as well. Julian gonna be picking his deck as oh, he's a little bit of idle time here. He's dealing with a lot. Maybe Julian yeah, getting a little bit potentially overwhelmed there trying to get that treasure. Yeah, a little idle TC, idle home city, but we have Chinese immigrants coming in now, and then probably capitalism, so that's why he's chopping wood a little bit later. We'll have to see if he gets idled there. Keturboy, he's got his TP as well, going Chinese immigrants. Oh, I don't even know if I mentioned here. Yeah, Keturboy up in the north here, playing as the darker color blue with the United States. And I expect to see some pretty similar build orders early on. There's 4 native TPs here, so both players will get a trading post on the trading post line, and then most likely both of them will get some native TPs. This one gonna be heading over to Apache most likely, and the levy coming in from the TP on the TP line. So he's going 10-10. That's Keturboy. Julian, he's gonna make a couple extra villagers, trying to pick up another food treasure here, and we'll see what his build order. We saw this matchup in the previous series. Keturboy, not Keturboy. It was Julian versus Frontline, and Julian had a nice counter build, and I wonder if we're going to see something similar. In that game, he went with the Dutch immigrants and Seminole scouts to just kind of like stay in base and hold. He did end up going Scottish immigrants, but he didn't get so many because he didn't go for the saloons in the church. So we'll see how this ends up working out here. I'm sure, you know what, I was going to say I wonder if Keturboy, but I'm sure Keturboy watched that game back and saw what went wrong for Frontline, and we'll see what he uses as a little bit of an adaptation to that. So aging up now, getting the advanced saloon, and then he's going to build his own saloon for some population space and that coin trickle, and then likely going to be going into Scottish immigrants. Let's see where these players are on their native TPs. Keturboy, oh, actually sent his rickshaw all the way across to get his opponent's Navajo settlement. There's some nice upgrades in there, by the way. 5% HP for infantry and cavalry. That's a nice one, but it's kind of expensive for the early game. Do we have a saloon in queue? No, or being built? No, we don't. Looks like maybe Keturboy's gonna have some idle TC time here. It's opting for the native post here. Oh, and he might be able to levy for that. This is getting really interesting. He might be able to get quite a few Scottish immigrant Highlanders here, and we do see the Dutch immigrants for Julian. Trying to follow everything and make it all make sense to myself. This just gets a little bit complicated. The battle for the native posts. Julian's got to call this one and try to take this. Right? I think he's gonna have to call the levy there, but will it be in time? Keturboy might just have the advantage, and he might actually get 3 of the 4 native posts. This could be hugely impactful as we have Philadelphia Convention coming in. There's that saloon that he gathered for and built. Boy, I think he's going to be able to get it. And if Julian calls it, maybe he's not even going to do it. Maybe he just knows he's not going to be able to get that, and he could save it for Miniman or use it now. Either way, I think Keturboy's got a slightly better position right now. Arkansas Post coming in, that's going to give him the second meeting house and 2 more saloons. There's Pennsylvania Pound coming in for Keturboy, as a Cherokee Rifleman helping hunt down Julian's Explorer. There's that Minuteman call that I was referring to. Look at the attention to detail here. This Cherokee Rifleman in front to give vision and potentially save both of their lives. No, this guy's going down. Oh, we accidentally drag box the Explorer back, and he's gonna get caught now. Oh, Keturboy, a little bit of a mistake there. He was going to be able to escape that, but yeah, he's gonna end up going down. For a second, he was looking really good with how he was managing that, but I think he grouped them together, and the Explorer decided to go backwards, unfortunately, probably as he was placing down these buildings for Arkansas Post. And we're going to be seeing the Scottish immigrants coming in with, I believe it's going to be 10 Highlanders. You got 5 posts, 2 TPs, and 3 native posts, 2 churches, and 3 saloons. So, and the Hussar are in queue, so He's got his macro set up as well. Man, so much coin trickling in from the saloons, from Pennsylvania Pound, and some fills on coin. So very good macro. He's gonna get maybe probably just 3 Hussar, but it's gonna be a lot to deal with. Meanwhile, Julian opted for, he ended up sending capitalism too, and Pennsylvania Pound coming in very soon. Got his market. 700 wood has arrived. Now he's just waiting for enough XP to send Seminole Scouts. It's a little bit later, but he'll be getting that with this pass here, and sending it immediately. There it is, and there that is. All right, and he's queuing up Hussar himself. He already has 5 in base, so really nice mass there. He's got his Hussar, his Minutemen, and almost another levy of ability available. So we'll be able to have 10 Minutemen for this push. He's just waiting, and you know, this is like the exact same setup as the previous series where Julian had this matchup, and I'm sure Keturboy watched it. I'm sure he knows, or maybe at least expects, that his opponent is going to be doing basically a counter build. So if he knows this, and if he plays this right, I think he just doesn't be too aggressive, and maybe just go age up, because then those Seminole Scouts aren't so valuable when you get to the 3rd age and artillery is more likely to be involved. Oh, he's actually calling the Minutemen. I thought he was going to call Levy and take this TP, but now sending 700 wood. As Carbine Cav is here for Keturboy from the church.
What is your command?
Nice little raiding party going forward, but Keturboy's going to see this, not going to lose anything, and takes out that TP. Wonder where we go from here. Market being built in the back of the base. Villager. Oh, he accidentally shot a deer instead of getting in the town center, so losing a vill there, unfortunately. Gonna be down a couple vills, and Julian does have the bank and capitalism, so definitely a slight economic advantage for Julian at this point. He sent the Seminole Indians, and there they are, the Sharp-toothed Bowmen. As we have an engagement here, Hussar trying to snare these bowmen as all these Highlanders are coming in. Cavalry has joined the squadron, but the Seminole are in a very vulnerable state. Highlanders getting in there and making a minced meat out of all these units with that melee damage. Holy cow. The Seminole, still 6 of them, but they're going to be falling pretty quickly. However, these Minutemen have been very valuable. I totally forgot about them, as it looked like Keturboy just ran straight past them, but there's still 9 of them remaining, and they clean it up. That was hugely impactful. The 2 batches of Minutemen had totally changed that engagement. Keturboy now himself going for the Seminole Scouts, as he just finished a batch of Hussar, and that must not feel good for Keturboy. I mean, when you get a 10 batch of Highlanders, wow, going back to back Seminole Scouts now. This is where it gets really interesting, because this is a very, very heavy commitment to age 2, and with an economy that is mostly trickles for coin, and then like not just barely 20 villagers, this gets a little bit potentially get stuck in age 2, though he does still have 700 coin. Hold on a minute. 7 Hussar coming forward. Seminole are completely unguarded, but are they spotted? Oh, they were just barely spotted, and now here come Julian's Hussar. I will say that Julian also had the Carbine Cav in that previous fight, which Keturboy did not, and I think that swung it. And again, actually the flag here benefiting Keturboy. Is this enough? Is this actually enough? Wow. It might just barely be enough. The flag giving some additional attack and rate of fire. Actually pretty insane. But these Minutemen have given so much value to Julian throughout this game. We do have more Seminole coming in for Keturboy. The reinforcing batches from both sides. And I think this is going to be, again, a pretty even trade. Maybe in the favor of Julian, as there's a couple Hussars still remaining. Not to mention that Julian does have the economic advantage with that bank and with capitalism. And it looks like he might be deciding to go up to the next age soon. And we just saw a levy there for Keturboy instead of going for the Minutemen. That's kind of been like the thing this game is. Keturboy has continued to go for the TP levies while Julian has gone for the Minutemen. And I think the Minutemen have just paid off much better for Julian. And 5 more Hussar coming in is going to be another good trade for Julian. Score gap is not huge, but oh, look at this. I think this is actually native treaties coming in, as these Apache are going to do work against these Hussar. They could have been really strong a bit earlier, and actually I would have loved to see a batch of them from this trading post. That could have really changed the way this game has gone. And these Navajo are actually quite strong too, with that extra range. Maybe he could have utilized these native units a bit earlier. Keturboy is still training some Hussar. Yeah, no capitalism for him, so a definite advantage economically for Julian. He's got that state capital. He's ready to go up to the next stage. He doesn't even want to, well, he doesn't have any coin left to send. But yeah, he's getting pretty close to having the resources to age up, and he's going to be aging very fast. Julian in a great position here in game number 4. Looking like he's going to be able to tie this one up, aging up with Kentucky here. And 27 villagers, the Dutch bank, capitalism, very strong economy here. Probably around the 35 vil equivalent, as Keturboy is, yeah. Oh, actually, I forgot Pennsylvania pound, also giving a couple of vils of gathering. But Keturboy, yeah, basically down about 10 vils in economy, so that's a pretty high percentage, about 30 or so % worse economy. And he's going to be stuck in age behind, as he is taking the TP line. That could potentially give him some hope to get back in this game, but it's going to be a long time until he gets to age 3. Now sending the coin crates, 700 coin. I'm not sure if he's going to try to finish this batch of Hussar here, but yeah, it looks like he is going to try to get a full batch, and then he's going to have to push. He's getting stagecoach now. But wow, look at the mass for Julian, and getting actually veteran Hussar. There's a card that actually would benefit at its point, I think, that Julian does not have in a deck. I don't think it's all that great of a card, but I think it gives veteran Hussar plus a reduced cost for Hussar. Not going to see it here though, as 5 carbine cav coming. This is a nice nice mass and composition for Keturboy. I think Julian's taking this fight a little bit too early, as the carbine cav are on the way. Man, the colors make this so difficult to see. These Apache cavalry trying to get value. Oh, wait a minute. But Julian with the veteran Hussar tech, yeah, totally cleaning this up. And absolutely destroying the fight. Not to mention the reinforcing units coming in. And Julian picking up that TP as well. So 1k wood coming in. That's going to probably give at least 1 town center. Maybe 2 town centers from the state capital. But yeah, Julian looking like he's in fantastic position. Keturboy will get the age up, and is sending Virginia General Assembly, but maybe we won't be seeing the age up, as cavalry is closing in on these villagers. That he does have enough food for the age up. He's going with Kentucky here, but a lot of these vills will go down, at least a handful probably. 1 vill, the snare is on to maybe actually just 2 vills, so not the end of the world, but this is still a very, very bad situation for Keturboy. He's gonna hopefully be able to save the capital as it pops out and get this fast age up going. But yeah, just really far behind economically, as rolling artillery is coming in now. Julian maxed out on his pop. He's dropping 3 houses very quickly with that 1k wood, so we're not seeing a town center wagon just yet. There it is. And Vill's trying to save this town center, get some damage done. I don't know if we saw knighthood, or I believe that's what it's called. The tech, there it is, statehood. Minutemen coming, and the age up as well. So the sharpshooter's gonna land there. Minutemen a little bit timed off, and yeah, all these units are gonna get cleaned up pretty quickly. I don't see a way for Keturboy back into this game, as he is gonna be idled for eternity. by all of these units from Julian. The veteran Hussar are going to tank up forever. And there's the GG. So Keturboy going down for the second game in a row. Julian coming up on top, tying up the series 2-2 in a very well played game. And I think this is really showing it after the second time. It's not just luck or coincidence. It's definitely a better build. Julian has used this build in the last 2 series in this exact matchup, and it has done fantastic. Going for some extra economy, getting capitalism and Dutch immigrants, while getting the Seminole to help defend the Highlander push. And I think the biggest part of it was the double batch of Minutemen that he was able to get while his opponent was sending those levies for trading posts. So Julian coming out on top in this, and we have a series tied up 2-2. We will be heading into game 5 now. Unfortunately, game number 5 had some technical issues, and we have an out of sync, so we're not able to see that game, unfortunately. Very unfortunate in the finals, but this game still does have some issues. That's why we're really hopeful for additional support to potentially fix these type of things. But I will give you a quick rundown of what happened in the game. In game 5, Julian was picking first. He opted for the French civilization. Keturboy counterpicked with Ottoman. And it was a pretty quick FI from both players, going into very heavy artillery count of heavy cannons for Julian, and Keturboy was countering with culverins. The Ottoman town center boom was very strong, and Julian, after a few fights, had to go for a revolt for Canada, and that resulted in one big push with all of his villagers and some artillery. Keturboy had some fantastic micro splitting culverins on the many heavy cannons that Julian had, and ended up winning the fight very one-sidedly. And while that fight ended, Julian's economy was completely devastated, and Keturboy had about 70 villagers. So a pretty one-sided game at the end of it, though it was pretty close throughout. Very disappointed that we're not able to cast that one. But here we are. At this point, we're going into game number 6. Keturboy is up 3-2. And we're going on to the map Florida. So let's get right into this game. Julian playing as the Spanish as his counter pick to Keturboy's Germany. So in the north of the map, we start with this free market, both civilizations, all the time on Florida. And there's a lot of hunt on this map. This is one of my favorite maps, I think, because you can do so many different things. There's some decent natives. You have water, of course, and then the additional market to start off with opens up the possibilities for all civilizations. And here's one that we see right here that used to be pretty common back in the day when crates were a little bit different for civilizations at the start of the game. Germany used to go for early trading posts, and here we do see Keturboy getting that trading post. It looks like he gathered up some coin and bought some wood at the market, and he's going to be able to get this very early. So Germany, I mean, it's very debatable how strong they are and where they fit in the tier list of civilizations, but when they were able to get this TP regularly super early, they were very strong. So we're going to see a hopefully strong Germany from Keturboy here, who is, like I said, leading the series 3-2. Just needs 2 more victories to close out this series against one of the all-time greats in Julian. Unfortunately, Keturboy stumbling upon 70 wood, which could have helped there, but he's going to utilize that in transition. And we'll take another look at this deck. We do see caravels and frigate in there. Other than that, pretty standard deck. He probably just took a few shipments out of age 4, maybe Eco Theory out of age 1 to fit in these boats. But other than that, pretty standard German deck. And we do not have hunting dogs because the choice that he went for was building that trading post. And Julian on the other side here. Let's look at his deck. He does have 2 caravels, improved warships, and a frigate. So 3 cards. I'm kind of surprised by the improved warships, but I don't think we'll see that in play. He does not have hunting dogs either. He did pretty much the same thing and built a trading post very early, and now sending in capitalism. Let's check out the sheep count. 2 of them for Julian. Not sure Keturboy has any actually, which is a little bit painful because you'd like to eat those up right about now to get a faster age up. It looks like he's going to go for a 16 village up anyway. Though he's not going to be able to eat that sheep in time. But it's going to be a pretty solid time there for his age up. And yeah, I mean, this matchup is, I think, pretty close. Depends how it's played out. Some early dops can help take out the forward outpost if that is something that Spanish goes for. But this early TP can totally change this matchup. We'll see what Keturboy's game plan is here. If he's going to go for like a quick fast fortress with war wagons. He's going with quartermaster here, so 400 wood going to be coming. Governor for Spain. Spain can also play this more economic. They can go for the fast fortress with a town center wagon. And then sometimes they'll follow that up with Spanish gold, 1k wood, and go for a very well-rounded composition with rods, lancers, and skirmishers. But it's a lot of preference, and honestly, it can go either way. I'm not sure what the best option is for each civ. Julian herding in 2 hunts. Keturboy getting placer mines here. And do we have any forward villas? Just some herding villagers so far. Second TP for Spain. So that market does allow for some adaptations, as we've already seen from the German TP. Spain's going to go for a second one and probably still go for that fast fortress. I expect 700 coin first. Nice little treasure here to help him out as well. Outpost wagon, where is that going to go? That's going to be key. And Keturboy is in base, trying to watch for that. Let's take a look at his vision as he is trying to predict, keep track of that outpost. He's not going to see it. Now he's just trying to dodge the explorer. But I think he was looking at villagers in base here. Didn't see anything on wood, so he knew he was safe. Wasn't going to be facing any H2 pressure. That's very important to know. And we do have a barracks and a church from the wood and steel trap. So that's a lot that he's asking for here. A lot that he's gathering up. 3 settler wagons coming in as well. Is he going to train some dops? Does he know where that outpost is? He's going to go for that 120 coin, which he'll be able to get. Very nice. Very nice treasure to pick up here, and hopefully get it in time to finish this batch. And maybe, I mean, it's going to be really difficult. He's dropping a house now. Does he have any sheep to eat up? He has got 1, so he might be able to get a 5 batch of dops, but that's asking for a lot. He's going to have some idle TC time as well, I think. But man, it's looking, they take a while to train, so he might just be able to do it. He's going to get very close. It's going to be very, very close. Very, very close. So close. Oh, he does get it at the last second. And that does make a difference, because Julian, as I was about to mention it, he's training these dogs to try to save this outpost. He's also getting steel traps and placer mines now as well. He went with 700 wood and now 5 hills behind us with the barracks in base. I think he knew because he saw the... Oh, he didn't even see the barracks. Wow, okay. I thought the dog scouted it, but building the barracks at home to play it a little bit more safely and training some rods in transition here. The Explorer actually taking all the outpost damage. Julian, I think, slacking a little bit there because you'd want to target the dops. But yeah, either way, that outpost going down very quickly, very easily. And the scout is the age up. That's the 4 Hussar. But another TP is probably going to go down for Julian. I don't think... I mean, he does have the rods. He might have to opt for Minutemen to try to save this if he really wants to save it. Because otherwise, dogs and rods will get destroyed by these dops. The 5 dops. If it was 4 or 3, I could see it going in the favor of Spain. But with 5, a full batch, no way. So... the Huss are going to be here to try and distract, and Julian is really going to try to save this. Dogs auto upgraded there with the age up. Some extra attack and HP. They are actually going to be just enough to save that trading post. That is pretty wild. I mean, I honestly, I think I would have preferred Keturboy to just take that fight. He's taking it now, and the Huss are here, but another batch of rods, so... I mean, it did go pretty good for the dops. There was 4 of them until he turned away there. And Spanish gold, the first shipment in H3 for Spain. So Julian playing this a little bit more passively, a little bit more economic focused. Barracks in base, getting market upgrades in Spanish gold. Trying to raid with these Hussar now. He's going to probably get some value there. But Ulan do catch them. And with 5 Ulan there and TC fire, it's going to be a good trade for Keturboy. Very, very good trade, actually. Oh, but the rods coming in. Minutemen being called. Really nice timing here. And positioning, I think, is going to be great for Keturboy. It's going to be another good trade, I'm pretty sure. It's going to be able to take out multiple rods before these Minutemen go down. Though the dogs are helping as well. 3 war wagons is the first shipment as Keturboy has gotten up to the 3rd age. Oh, but these Ulan will go down. Or will they? Nice micro there with the TC fire on that last rod. And that's enough of the pressure. It's been held. This Hussar gonna be going down? Yes. TC fire and then dogs are all that remain. Villagers can take them on their own if they really want to. All right, so what do we have? We had the 3 settler wagons, 700 wood, 700 coin, 3 card FF for Germany, and now trying to put some pressure on very early here. Training some skirmishers, adding in a stable in the back of the base, saving up some wood to get veteran Ulan, and he has to force some tempo right here with the military shipment first, as his opponent is doing the complete opposite. Spanish gold into 1k wood, the ultimate greed, and it's gonna be he's gonna have to hold here. There's gonna be a lot of pressure and a lot of work needed to be done by these skirmishers, but ooh, this trade post was not repaired, and it looks like it will go down as the war wagons are going to help take this up pretty quickly. Out of position, probably could have held it if the skirmishers were up front there, but it's going down. So a nice little trade there for Keturboy, but these skirmishers are going to force back these veteran war wagons, almost losing one there. Second barracks up. Will he go for a town center with that wood shipment, or what is he gonna opt for? Probably just houses. Oh, church. Okay, church and some houses. Getting veteran rod, sending more rods. He had Falcons in queue, but opted to switch that for the rods. Getting line of sight upgrades, and rod skirm is gonna be the composition for now. Keturboy. Oh wow, he's gonna heal up that one war wagon that was like 1 volley away from going down. I like that. Hopefully he can utilize that later on as well. And we have 1k wood coming in now. What is that going to turn into for Germany? I'm really curious about that. Explorer's down, so it's not going to be a trading post or a town center. We do have a spy as well. I love that. We already have veteran Ulan, so it could be a dock. I thought about that possibly, but it doesn't look like it. What do you use 1k wood for at this point? Of course, at least a couple houses. And there's a couple more going down. Gets a 4 batch of war wagons. He could go for an arsenal and ranged cavalry caracol, but that's pretty expensive, and especially for just 7 units. As the skirm, rod, and dog mass is approaching the German base. These Ulan are idle, almost getting caught there. Very, very close. Maybe we have an arsenal in counter infantry rifling, actually. So I mean, this is trouble. This is not a good situation right now. 800 wood just sitting there in the bank for Germany. He's either sold. Okay, he dropped 1 house, 2 houses. That's why that went down. I thought for a second maybe he sold. We have 9 Ulan coming in now. But the pressure is mounting, and Keturboy is just being forced back into the back of his base. Rescues his explorer just to scare away his opponent temporarily. And that will buy him some time. Ulan raid catching some skirmisher here. War wagons queued up. He's going to get a 4 batch. He can sell some wood, buy some food, and get a 5th one if he really, really wants to. But no, he's going to go for just the 4 war wagons, up to 11 now. And 9 Ulan going to be coming in. Is there enough anti-cav? That's the question. 26 veteran rods. The rods are out of position. Ulan popping directly on the skirmishers, not really getting any damage done. And this is going to be all about micro. how is Keturboy going to be able to target these rods with 24 of them with the skirmishers and the war wagons? Can Julian protect his skirmishers in this very, very important fight? High quality units on both sides. Ulan still remain, not too many of them have gone down. The spy spots the falconet, and that's going to allow Keturboy to get out of there without taking a volley blindly. But after all that, where do we stand as war wagons trying to get a snipe here? Keturboy getting very, very bold. He's got the church. I'm not sure if he's got the line of sight upgrades, but oh boy, these war wagons are in dangerous territory. We have archaic infantry combat coming in. That's going to be a basically combat upgrade, attack, and HP for the rods, who are chasing down the war wagons. They have the same speed, and here we go. I think we're going to have a big fight here, and this could be the game if it goes really well one way or the other. Nice split there from Julian, getting 2 skirmishers, almost doing it again. But very, very crucial micro moment here. Ulan going in for the flank, but the rods are right there. Lots of villagers here. Might have to send them in to tank. They have 400 HP, so that would be very, very strong for this. We have cav combat and ranged cavalry caracol coming in. These war wagons are going to be huge in this fight, and I think there's going to be enough cavalry here to surround this, and the positioning is going to be very tricky. Ulan trying to go in and get on these skirmishers. Rods fending off a few Ulan on the right side here. War wagons with that extra range still not sniping the falconets. Settler wagons in the front there, 7 of them tanking. There's not all that many skirmishers here for Germany, so falconets are not super impactful. These war wagon count is down to 6 now, and they do have melee resist, but these rods are, oh my gosh, huge shots from the falconets on the skirmishers for Germany, and everything is going down for Keturboy. This is looking like a terrible fight in a tough position, and there is a pretty quick GG. Julian takes that fight and takes the game very, very decisively, and he's tying up this series 3-3 in this best of 9. 2 more wins for either player until they can close out this series, and I think this was kind of just a build order victory for Julian, getting pretty greedy here, going for Spanish gold into 1k wood and then just massing up these upgraded rods. Really tough for Germany to deal with, and the pressure was at the right time in the right place, really making Keturboy make a decision and force a fight that he didn't want to take. Yeah, it's just when you have that composition of rods with upgrades, skirmishers, and falcons, it can be quite difficult for Germany to take the fights if they don't get some nice flanks with the Ulan on villagers or the artillery. So that is game number 6. We're going to be heading into game number 7 right now. Welcome to Painted Desert for game number 7 in this epic series. Keturboy has the option to go with Italians, and that's what he's doing in this game. We saw Julian go with them in a previous game and have a pretty one-sided victory, so I think this makes sense. It's actually, I do believe this is the same exact matchup. Julian going with the British here. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, the last one was on a no TP map, and yeah, we saw the musketeers going down for Keturboy very, very rapidly, and I think Julian must have a counter build order here, otherwise he's going to be in trouble, because that was a tough game for the British. A nice little treasure here for Julian, picking up some 50 food. There are a lot of cows on this map. Actually, it's a very similar setup to last time with a no TP but cow map. And in that one, Keturboy, playing as the British, got all of the llamas and had a huge advantage there, but still was not enough to give him the victory. So I think this one has got to be in the favor of the Italians. Maybe Julian, you know, he did such a great job base building. I wonder if Keturboy is going to be able to do just as good of a job, because Keturboy did try to put some H2 pressure on Julian there, but it just, there was nowhere to force any idle time or anything. The base was so well built from Julian, so we'll see how this ends up going, as the market and house are in back of the base for the Italians in this game. And look at that. Okay, so there had to be something different that Julian was going to go for to change up this matchup, and there it is. Virginia Company coming in as the first card in Age 1 for the Brits. He also has Spice Trade and a very similar deck to what Keturboy ran on the on Grand Cow. But this time, Virginia Company's here, and it's going to be the first card. So 2 manners already down. Sometimes we've seen some crazy builds from A's where you save up some of that wood, or you just chop wood from the beginning and then drop like 7 or 8 manners all at the same time. I've actually done that build, and I think I have a video on it where you can actually get a really high villager count very early going for that strategy. A little bit later age up time to age 2, but you can get like 40 vills extremely early in the game. But Julian playing this a little bit more tame, I guess you could say. He's going to be utilizing Virginia Company in transition to age 2, as all the villagers are going to be switching over to wood, and the manor drops are going to begin. How many cows do we have? Just 1 right now for Julian. Keturboy eating a couple now and bringing back a couple more. So Keturboy really having the advantage on these cow maps so far in this series. Let's take a look at this Italian deck. We've got age 2, 3, and 4 cards pretty equally distributed. What is this one here? Oh my gosh, auto micro card. I heard about that. I haven't really seen that in gameplay, but that they target the units they counter. That's a wild card. Anyway, the Italian civilization just gets stronger and stronger. The lore grows. It's actually insane. All right, so a pretty late age up for Italy here. Julian gonna be up significantly earlier, right? Yeah, well, not all that much of a difference, but we do see the line of sight growing, villagers going out, claiming all of these native posts. I wonder if that makes it so it's actually impossible for Italy to build one, unless they just pay the 200 and place it down on there. Either way, that's going to give additional line of sight. And we have quite a few manors already showing up. And the naturalist is the age up, which you do see with this build order quite often. Instead of the tower, the outpost, they go for the 2 vills. He says, "Hi, Phoenix." Oh, is he back hurting? Oh, wow. Keturboy throwing some shade there a little bit. Looks like this herd probably was the second, maybe the third hunt. Yeah, I did. Keturboy, I think he's going to be just fine with the hunt. He's just got to continue to herd because they are pretty far out, but they are there. And, wow, this is interesting. Yeah, I don't think it was meant as a back herd either. This one was kind of close, but I don't see either of these guys playing like, I don't know what the word would be, not disloyal. I don't know. I don't think that was intended as a back herd. I think there's plenty of hunt inside Keturboy's base at this point, so I think we're fine. All right, so where do we stand here? Julian got his 700 wood in, building that market now. And how many manors does he have left to build? About 5 more. He's at 25 vills right now. And this is now being scouted out. No barracks yet on the map for Brits. 600 wood and a bunch of manors. So I think at this point, Keturboy sees all these being plopped down. He knows, okay, Virginia Company is in play. And we do see muskets in queue. He's actually going to finish that batch and throw down another barrack. So this is the deviation, the response from Keturboy. He's reacting, and I don't know if this is because of the hunt situation or that he's just scouting his opponent's game plan a little bit. But we do have double racks and Broken Lands Company very early with the forward outpost. This is going to be scary. 4 musketeers going forward for Italy. Julian getting really greedy here, and this might cost him. He does have a barracks going up. He has scouted those musketeers, but he does not know that there's these heavy cavalry coming. But he probably assumes it when he sees the early pressure. 1 villager will be going down. 38 vills at the moment, going down 37. So close to 40 for Julian. Not quite there, but he's got all his manors. He did not send 3 vills, so that's why he's a little bit short of 40. And we have a stable going up as well. So 3 military buildings. So if he can gather, he's going to be able to get units out very, very quickly. And these musketeers are going to be able to defend here. Broken Lands Company. Did it already show up? I don't think I caught it. Did he cancel that? No, here it comes. It's just a very slow shipment as it is mercenaries. It takes a little bit longer. 700 HP cavalry in H2 plus a Stratiat with 585. This is quite the force going forward right now. And I wonder if he's just going to send it in right now. It's pretty risky. He does have a nice batch of muskets following this up. So pretty good unit count right now for Keturboy. Julian sending 6 muskets, getting Great Coat to help defend here. He's got Minutemen available and the resources. He's going to call it right now. Probably cancel it though as the retreat is called for Keturboy. Tough positioning with these manors. Actually really good building placement to force an awkward position, and it makes Keturboy think about, do I really want to commit to this in this situation? Because if I lose this fight and it goes very poorly, it could be just GG. So that's pretty risky to go in there, and Keturboy opting to just retreat, march around the map, and try to control the map a little bit and wait for more reinforcements. He's getting a ton of musketeers from these barracks. And now 6 more on the way, so a big timing going to be coming in for Keturboy. This is going to be a very close fight. Both players sending the 6 musket shipment, and 1 Papal Lancer likely to go down here. 10 HP. Where's that Stratiat? Did that already go down? Oh no, it's up here. Okay, looking for fills. I wonder if he's going to be able to heal that up. No, it doesn't have a church. Wow, this is you don't see H2 play all that often, especially against British from the Italians. So that I hope he doesn't regret this. It's looking pretty scary right now. He's well behind in economy, but he has sizable mass, pretty comparable to his opponent. And he's gonna get some. He will get some kills on these manors. Get some XP as Uffizi is coming in now to grant more XP and potential for healing up one of those cavalry units. But the mass, the eco, I think is just in favor of Brits. I think Julian boomed this out perfectly and has just enough to defend the initial push, especially with the building placement. But now this is where it gets a little bit scary. Sieging that outpost. We do have 1 musket upgrade for Brits right now. How many? We got 41 muskets from Italy and 42 from Brits. So similar. It's actually insane. And a couple Huss versus a few Papal Lancers and a Stratiat. Ooh, nice picks here for Keturboy. He's got a nice group of musketeers, 10 of them. He's gonna get at least 4 vills. That's gonna even the economy up a little bit. Manors going down, but Julian can replace them for a cheaper cost, so not all that great. Destroying those, and 10 musketeers here might get picked off. Out of position. Rest of the army is nowhere near. Oh boy, yeah, I think these guys are going to go down, but usually Keturboy is the type of guy that can be able to get a lot of value. Juked, straight up juked. But Julian is going to be closing in with some other musketeers. But look at this. He's gonna win this little engagement as the rest of the muskets are too far away. Really nicely done by Keturboy, sneaking around there and getting quite a few kills for these musketeers that were pretty much trapped. Oh, we've got a lot of action happening on the map now. Julian sending in some musketeers. Keturboy hiding more musketeers that were sieging this manor. And another raid, and this is a better number here. 11 musketeers for Keturboy. He's going to take this fight as well, but we do have a second musketeer upgrade card coming in for Brits. So he's going to be able to hold these fights, these defensive points eventually. Almost at 50 villagers. He's got a nice amount of Hussar as well, 5 of them. Yeah, it's just a tough call for both players at this point. Do you want to take the fight and risk losing it and potentially losing the game off of the fight? But I think Julian now with a double upgrades and a lot of musketeers, it's go time. And as long as he can protect his vills that are hunting, he'll be all right. And I think he deflected most of that pressure. Still has vision, feels safe hunting out here now, replacing these manors. And he's going to be, yeah, over 50 vills. And Keturboy has picked the worst time to age up. He did send advanced politicians, so it's going to be a quicker age up and more, more musketeers. Or I'm not sure if that's actually a crossbow, but upon age up, he will have quite a few units, and he's poking away. Who needs to save these muskets? Needs to get a good batch here. He is getting a good batch. Could even call Minutemen. And if he can pick apart some of the smaller batches or reinforcing batches, he could be all right. Age up's almost here, and the Basilica is still alive. He's successfully saved that building from destruction just by positioning. And here we go. You know what? If I was Keturboy, you don't want to take this fight. You want to get veteran musketeers. The 9 musketeers have arrived. He's going to have to call Minutemen. He's going to sell some food, get some wood, so he can get veteran musketeers. But you got to get that going right now to take advantage of it, as some musketeers not in the engagement here. Vet muskets now on the way, but 37 musketeers taking a fight before they want to. They are taking down the Hussar, but there's so many British musketeers and more reinforcing out. Though they are idle in the middle of the map. We do have falconets on the way as well. He's just trying to buy time for veteran musketeers to come in so that he can take the little advantage that will give him, plus the falconets. Are the Lombards? The Lombards are not working right now. All resources going into military at the moment, but he has held. Keturboy has held. He has the veteran musketeer upgrade, which is going to put his musketeers very similar to Julian's, and he's trying to hunt down the raids over here. But he's gotten to age 3. He's safe. He's not dead. He's got his musketeers. He's got his falcons coming, and he is getting ready to push. Julian staying in age 2. Look at this. Very, very interesting here. I don't know how this is going to work out for him, but he's going for the unique church card, Glorious Revolution, which is going to give more HP for the musketeers, but it's going to make them pretty slow. So, oh, this explorer tanking quite a bit. Might actually swing this into Brit's favor. Actually, not quite. Huss raid coming in. He's looking for the falconets, but they are already forward. There they are. Keturboy in a good position. Nice choke here, but there's so many vills coming forward. He's going to kite away. Oh my gosh, the amount of musketeers here is insane. Church upgrade is in. Is there a church present on the map? There is. He's not going for thin red line yet, but the falconets, they keep on paying. What are they doing? Oh my goodness. They're going down for absolutely no value, and that is devastating. A terrible loss of those falconets there. That is game changing. The raid may have been distraction enough to get... Oh man, that is brutal. Huge pickup for Julian. Putting the pressure on, forcing a reaction, and this Hussar is still continuing to raid. I think Keturboy is a little bit off his game at this moment, as he's trying to deal with this and trying to deal with the fact that he lost 2 falconets for nothing, and now losing vills to a 16 HP Hussar. Thin red line coming in for Brits, and now they won't have to chase units around the map because they're just going to be pushing in base, so that speed will not matter as much. And they have over 200 HP, and let's face it, they are just better than these veteran musketeers right now. And the mass is at 58 versus 33. This is very much a one-sided fight. This is totally going to go in favor of Julian with the thin red line upgrade from the church. Gonna give him the advantage here, and there's not much. Oh, okay. Villagers fighting off some Italian musketeers. That's annoying, but I'm not sure it matters at this point. And the barracks are gonna at least one of them is gonna be surrounded. The reinforcements are gonna get picked off right away. Oh, Keturboy. Oh man. Very frustrated, understandably so. He says losing a game because of a bug. Very nice. That is really frustrating, and I don't know I don't know to say if it was a bug or not. But I think a lot of us probably have experienced this, where you're targeting a unit and then you decide to pack up, and then things get a little bit messy when you're trying to. When they're like mid-pack animation, and then they try to cancel it and unpack, and very frustrating. But it was because of a scary villager push from Julian and a huge mass of musketeers running through this choke point. forcing an error, and you know, things like that happen. So Julian picked the right moment and had the church card in, picked the right time to go for the thin red line so that his units didn't slow down and have bad engagements after that, but picked it at the right time to just take the big fight to end the game. Well done to Julian. This is going to be 4-3 to Julian right now as he's taking the lead. We're going to be going right into game number 8. Welcome to Mongolia for game number 8 in this best of 9. Currently, Julian is leading 4-3, just needing one more victory to close out this finals of the ESOC Spring 2026 tournament. And he's opting for Hadanasani on this map, which has been a civ that's a little bit more popular lately. I think mostly due to Kevin playing them a lot on the ladder and streaming, and he's been showing that they're very strong. Very curious how Julian is going to play this one out. He's looking like he's heading towards the trade post, but I don't think he's going to be able to build a TP, right? Unless he goes for a market. Anyway, let's head over to his opponent, Keturboy, who's opting for the Lakota here. So in game number 8, the even number games, Keturboy has had to pick first. So he actually went with Lakota, and Julian countered with the Hadanasani. So opening with a market and a TP, pretty standard for Lakota. But also actually able to get a trading post with the extra 100 coin and probably maybe selling some food. I'm not sure exactly how he's able to get that, but that's a lot of wood early in the game. Not 400, 350. And he doesn't have hunting dogs, but he does have the TP, which acts basically like hunting dogs, an additional 10% gather rate. So that's why he has that gather rate that is what you usually see for a regular villager on hunt. And looking to pick up 75 food there. How many cows? What's the yak count here? We have 2 for Lakota at the moment. Julian, he's got 6 under his control if he can herd them all back, and that's gonna be pretty good for him. And he actually did build a trading post himself. Was he chopping? Hold on, how did he do that? Let's see if he got any treasures here. I did not notice that, but it looks like he must have just chopped for wood, because no market. Yeah, okay. That's a pretty nice start for Hadanasani. They've always been a strong civ when you're able to get an early TP. So very nice for them. And villagers coming in now. A couple yaks being eaten up here. And a little bit of a potential treasure contention, as this 50 food has been spotted by both players. A little blocking here going on. And I think, well, they're just both going to hang out here. Both would love to have it for the age up, and there's a kill. Wait, who killed that? Either way, Keturboy picked it up with Lakota, and he's going to be up a little bit faster than his opponent. That looked like it went down very quick, and I didn't hear a shot, so it must have been the Lakota Explorer. And Julian over here, aging up with the Messenger. Looks to be that's going to be the fast age up option. Take a look at this deck. Okay, a lot of age 2 cards, age 3, and a few in age 4 as well. He's got those curves for age 3 and 4. Lots of infantry upgrades as always. Yeah, he's going to be aging fast, and let's see if he's going to play this aggressive or defensive with the Travois. 5 vills is the first shipment. And this is a build that I think if he goes for 5 vil, 4 Kanya, then mixed crates, plus the Tomahawk Big Button. These are like strategies that used to be quite popular. Go for like a 10 Tomahawk, 4 Kanya semi FF type of build. I think you sometimes would have to send 600 coin. I'm pretty sure you have to send 600 coin as well. But we'll see if he ends up going for something like that. Keturboy looks like... Did he go with the fast age as well? I think he did. Since we have a shipment already arriving, he must have. Forward war hut for Houds and a defensive one for Lakota. And 700 wood has arrived for Lakota. He's gathering wood as well, which might be a little bit excessive. What is he gonna do with his war hut? Nothing yet. Seaton in queue now. Actually switching over to war club, so potentially a little bit indecisive there for four axe riders being sent in from the home city. So Julian, the 5 600 wood shipment progression, 5 tomahawks just sitting at the war hut for now. Market has gone up for Julian. No hunting dogs yet. There, here it goes. Looking to take another coin treasure here, potentially buy for an additional 100 wood. Sometimes that's something you'll see from Hadanasani is they don't often have a lot of use for coin early in the game, so you might end up buying some extra wood. I wouldn't be surprised to see that at all. Actually expect it right about now. But we'll see. Maybe he ends up buying some food in a critical situation, so might just hold on to that for the moment. There goes the 4 axe riders and war clubs looking to find. Does he know where that trade post is? He does. And it looks like Keturboy's going to be fighting over the TP line, though. His war hut is at home, so... Oh, actually going for lumber ceremony to utilize that coin. So Julian looking to play this a little bit of a longer game. Mongol scout battle is going to go over to Julian here. For Kanya is in the next shipment and also building a corral. So now these villagers gathering at 0.6 wood per second. It's a little bit better, but still pretty slow gather rate. But Kanya in queue. He's going to try to get a batch of 4. That'd be pretty strong batch if you can get 4 of them. But what is Keturboy up to? He's roaming around the top of the map. Not attacking that trade post at all. Did he pick up a treasure? Let me take a look at that. Do we see 300 XP? Okay, so that's what he was positioning for. Big treasure up north. And he's going to pick up another 70 wood. So I do like that. He's going to get his 7 Seaton plus another shipment. And this is, wow, 2 Tukola soldiers. So the timing push is going to be here. But will it be enough as Julian is prepping for this? He's just hiding out behind his war hut. I guess he must know what his opponent's build is going to be here. Cause it is quite an investment to build a war hut as Lakota and not like, and then still age up to age 3. It's not something you expect. So otherwise, other than that, you would just expect the timing push, which looks like it's going to be coming pretty soon from Lakota. Another shipment available. It's going to be the 4th age 2 shipment. It's going to be the infantry combat in age 2, 10% combat for all infantry, which is 20 tomahawks at the moment, but Aena are in queue. And Keturboy, he has sent how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 shipments in age 2 as well. So very similar shipment progression, even though that 300 XP. I guess it's the fact that Lakota doesn't build all that many buildings. Oh, wow. Sending some vills forward for a forward TP to hold down this location. And I think that's a great idea. Let's see Julian's reaction as conservative tactics comes in. He knows he can't take this fight. He's just got to back up. And he's probably even going to cancel that Aena. Or maybe the building just goes down before it even has a chance to come out. Yeah. So a really nice idea there. And Julian respecting it and making the right call. You know, there's a lot of times where you try to force a position on the map and take a fight when you're not really, you shouldn't be taking it and you're not prepped for it. So that's a good lesson there, watching Julian saying, you know what, I can't take this fight. I'm gonna live to another day and back up and hope to hold it home. And so far it looks like he's gonna be able to do that. Got just 4 Aena here. He's got the big button tomahawks from the town center. He's at 25 now. He's getting Vil HP and training more Aena. Looks like he's kind of prepping for a potential Vil hold, like a pull and defend the base. It's a lot of Seaton bowmen though. And they're pretty similar in stats. Seaton have a little bit more attack than the Aena. Both have 30% range resist. And here's the Kanya horsemen. They're going in here. And the Axe Riders flip to the front. War Club's in good position. Looks like, I think this is a better fight for Lakota. A lot of anti-cav there. Tomahawks are there as well. And we do have a war ceremony for Lakota, so they might actually have the advantage there due to that boost in attack. 19% boost in attack, 17 damage for the Seton compared to just 13 for the Aena. War Chief is still alive for Julian. More Kanya reinforcing. War Clubs are still alive, repositioning. And this is looking like, well, do you have 7 Aena coming in from the home city for Hadanasani? Another flip here. 6 War Clubs do remain, so they'll be able to take care of these Kanya no problem. Still not targeting the Hadanasani War Chief is probably something Keturboy regrets at this point. Finally taking him out, reducing the HP of all the surrounding military units, and that is going to make this a pretty good fight. We have 6 clubs coming in. He had 19 vills on the community plaza, now getting the War Chief back. Very smart move. I think the fact that he had them on the war ceremony was hugely impactful to that fight, and it really gave him a solid chance to take the fight. And now, just a couple batch of Kanya Horsemen, and now 6 Tomahawks. It's looking pretty rough for Hadanasani, I must say. Those Seton are pretty strong, and 30% range resist means they can tank that War Hut attack for quite a while. And here we go. The War Chief, full HP, going to be going in. Flip to the front. He's got 750 HP. And will it be enough? There's these two Kanya. Are they enough to actually force the Seton back? They are pretty fragile. Boy, I am actually... Okay, that's why. It's the War Clubs are reinforcing, and now the flip going to bring them to the front. And it's going to force Julian to now back up. Now, we're getting later into Age 2, where the shipment curve is getting longer between shipments, but also the quality of shipments in terms of like fighting is kind of less and less. You're gonna have to build up your mass with resource crates like 600 wood, maybe go for Great Hunter as Lakota, or on Julian's side, he's got a couple more infantry upgrades, or can go for mixed crates. But yeah, getting deeper into the home city shipment options. As that TP's going down, we'll have to see what Julian's next shipment is going to be. Will he go for a community plaza himself? I'm not sure if he even noticed his opponent had that working in that last fight. Spirit Medicine coming in for Lakota, as he's just being a little bit cautious about raids. He doesn't have any mobility, really. The War Clubs are a little bit faster. 5 speed compared to 4.5 with the Seton. That might not be enough to catch the Kanya Horsemen if they do go for some raids. Stagecoach now coming in, so... Okay, Keturboy is going to play this a little bit slower. And try to... I don't know, is he going to take the TP line and hold the map? What do you do in terms of, like, strategy? I guess you got to keep massing for a while. You could send 700 coin or Great Hunter next. You know, both of these civilizations I think excel in Age 3. They're pretty strong in Age 2 as well, but you usually want to get to Age 3. Aena are solid units, but I mean, compared to Forest Prowlers, they lack a little bit. What was that last shipment? We did see War Hut Warrior attack, so boosting Aena and the Tomahawks again. Another batch of Kanya Horsemen about to complete, and I think that's going to be go time for Julian. He's bringing in more hunts, trying to claim some of the map. He does have a community plaza now, so he'll be able to match that attack boost from Lakota. Things are settling down quite a bit, a little bit quiet for the moment. Third TP going up for Keturboy, and you can see here, he is absolutely looking for an age up. Great Hunter going to be coming in. He's going to provide probably over 800 food by the time it arrives. And 3 TPs on coin. Oh, you know, he's not going for an age up. Not at all. He's going to go for Bow Riders, adding that corral in the back. Seton and Bow Rider, nice composition. Julian showing his entire army here, so Keturboy will have the opportunity to have a really good composition to counter what he sees. 18 War Clubs is quite a bit. And let's see how much food comes in here. Ooh, wow, definitely over 800. 831 food plus boosting his hunting gather rate as well. But Hunt is starting to run out, so he's gonna have to claim the map, and that's probably why he chose to stay in H2 instead of aging up. All right, so Ayanna marching forward with that 5 speed. They are faster than Seaton, but heading back to this TP location can give Lakota a little bit of an advantage here. And this is getting intense in game number 8 of this finals, this ESOC finals series. I think we're getting pretty close to a big fight. 5 batch of bow riders here. Gonna account to 10 total. And look at this. Keturboy is trying to bait the fight to get close to the TP. He's gonna lose a few Seaton to start this engagement. But now flipping the war clubs to the front, trying to get a little bit of Seaton shots for free there. On the retreat, bow riders in the back, both players going with the war ceremony, increasing their unit's attack and fighting right next to the TP. This is exactly where Keturboy wants to be, though Julian feels pretty good about the situation as well. I do think this is favoring Lakota, as we see a lot of Seaton, a good amount of bow riders as well, pretty good positioning, and war clubs in fantastic position against these Kanya. They are not able to get in there. War Chief getting a big shot on these Seaton here for Haudenosaunee, but I think there's still a huge mass of Seaton, and the bow riders are going to deal with these Kanya pretty quickly, and after that there's not that much infantry left for Haudenosaunee. Julian's got well, actually they're hard to see, kind of disguised with the land there, but 20 of them now down to 16, and it's a ranged infantry battle here. The Haudenosaunee War Chief finally goes down himself. Both War Chiefs go down in this fight. And it looks like Lakota did pull ahead a little bit there and does retain 2 trading posts. However, Haudenosaunee sending villagers out to build their own trading post. But this could be nearing the end of this game as Seaton are pushing forward. There's 1 Kanya coming, but there's about 8 bow riders and more Seaton coming in reinforcing. This fight is going to go the way of Lakota as 700 coins coming in, switching over to Axe Rider production, though I'm not sure that's even going to be needed as the War Chief is here, full 750 HP. He's going to take this engagement, and I think Keturboy is going to take this game, and there it is. GG going over to Keturboy, tying the series up 4-4. Absolutely insane. We're going to go the full distance in this series. We are going to be heading to a game number 9 decider game, and let's think for a quick second. In odd number games, Julian is going to pick first, so Julian will pick first. Keturboy has the opportunity to counter pick, and the last game comes down to the last game to decide who is going to be the champion here. Both players having a fantastic series so far. I'm super excited to see this final game. Can't wait to get to that game and enjoy it with you guys. Let's head over there right now. Welcome to Dakota for game number 9 in this best of 9 between 2 all-time greats. JulianK over here in the southeast side of the map, playing as the Maltese in the series deciding game. His opponent Keturboy playing as the Spanish in the northwest side of the map. And man, this has been quite the journey to get to this point. Started off this series 2-0 for Keturboy, putting Julian in a hole and in a tough position where he was actually counterpicked, but had a very, very important win with the Italian civilization. And we're going deep into these players' civ pools at this point. 9 civs picked each. Who is going to come out on top? I cannot wait to see. And we already have an interesting development here on the TP line for Maltese, getting attacked by the War Dog, scouted out immediately by Keturboy, and a nice 85 wood treasure that we do see from both sides. So we'll see if Maltese goes for that. Very tough, tight build order for Maltese. He gets that trading post, gets the market. He does not have hunting dogs, but he's going to try to get it a little bit later. I like the prioritization there, getting that house up, getting the shipment in time with very little, and now going for that 85 wood. Should be able to pick that up. Will lose a lot of HP, but that's going to allow him to get hunting dogs without chopping as much, so that should end up being a good situation. However, this dog is going to be really annoying. And is it possible. No way. I think he gets this treasure. Yeah, he's gonna get the treasure. Wow, that is really close. He gets the treasure one attack before going down, but he does get it, and hunting dogs will be coming in, and he's second as soon as Julian remembers. There it is. 3 vills on the way as well. He's got German tongue in deck, British tongue. He's got a native card that I haven't really ever seen used for Maltese. He's got, oh my gosh, he's got quite a few interesting cards in his deck. And, you know, this is quite interesting to me that I played Keturboy in this tournament. He played as the Maltese, and it's a very exciting game. Maybe it was a trolley game. People said it was a trolley game, that, you know, Keturboy playing Maltese against me because he was expecting to win the series anyway. But yet here we have in game number 9 of the finals his opponent playing as a Maltese, and we're gonna see just how strong this Civ really is. Some people say it's one of the worst. Some people say it's pretty good, and if you let them have some time, they can be quite strong with their archaic infantry getting some ridiculous stats over time. They get that 2% extra HP for every shipment. So we're going to have to watch out for these Maltese potential pikeman raids running around. We'll see. That's what Keturboy was trying to do against me. And maybe Julian makes him feel that pain a little bit in this game. All right, let's take a look at Spain's deck here. He's got 3 vills, already has capitalism in as well. He's got higher Irish brigadiers in the deck in case he needs it for some H2 emergency. But he has a lot of H2 cards as well. He has the Conquistadors that you can get when you lose archaic units. I really don't think it's a good idea to play H2 against Maltese. In my opinion, that's kind of playing into their hands. But we see 2 forward vills and a lot of villagers on wood. Market just now going up for Spain, getting hunting dogs. It looks like he's going to play this H2, and it's probably going to be Musketeer, pure Musketeer, or Musk Huss. We're going to have to see how that plays out, but we're definitely going to see some H2 play here. Expecting the governor for the outpost and 200 coin. Probably going to go for steel traps immediately. He might sell some food and buy wood to get that. Yeah, he's going to go for 225. He's going to buy 100 wood, I think. Queue up steel traps. 700 wood coming in. Picking up the coin. Barracks going up. I really do think he's going to buy 100 wood any second. Or maybe he just waits for 700 wood. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. A lot of micro here going on, though. Dog going down. Maltese Explorer trying to survive. About to age up, so he might just survive. One shot away, and he does get up in time, saving that Explorer, but it might not be for too long. German tongue is on the way for Maltese. Yeah, okay, so he was definitely waiting for 700 wood to get steel traps, though he could have definitely bought, he's got so much coin, he could definitely have bought 100 wood to get steel traps a little bit earlier. Who am I, though? Who am I? Musketeers in queue. Gonna see a couple quick houses go down, and then eventually we will see that steel traps that I've been speaking so much about. There it is. All right, will he add in another barracks or a stable? We'll see. 5 vills is the second shipment for Spain here. Gonna get a pretty solid economy going behind this little musketeer pressure that's heading over to that trading post. Second barracks is indeed the opted military building for Keturboy. And still, okay, we do have 700 wood coming in for Maltese. He's getting those settler wagons. Actually, just one settler wagon. And, you know, oh, I think he knows his timing so well. He's like, all right, let me build one settler wagon, and then I'll switch into musketeers, or rather sentinels, to try and defend this outpost. Not this outpost, trade post. So that's why he was like, he knew he could squeeze that in. And look at this, building a depot as well. 60 and 60, you don't see those all that often, but also has a hospital in the back of the base where he was training those sentinel. And now he's probably going to switch back into Southern Wagon production, I would think. Next shipment is available. Probably going to be, what is the card called again? Vignacourt Constructions for extra gather rate. Yeah, he's actually, for the moment, prioritizing military instead of Southern Wagon production. Very, very nice tight macro here. As Keturboy is backing up for the moment, but he's got a nice batch of 10 musketeers coming. That Maltese Explorer will go down. Sentinel's getting a little bit of a trade in there, but now they're going to be forced to back up unless they want to take a very, very, very bad numbers fight. An interesting build order here. Wow, I do like this quite a bit from Keturboy. He went for 700 wood, 5 vills for the early pressure, then 700 coin to follow it up, and he's going to be aging up very soon. Probably go for the scout. Yeah, he's going for the 4 Hussar age up. And these Sentinels trying to push back these Musketeers. It's interesting that they do have 4.25 speed, so slightly faster than the Muskets, but totally outnumbered. All right, this is where it gets pretty scary for Julian, even though he is a very, very good player. This situation is looking pretty good for Spain. He's going to have a lot of Musketeers and Falcons very soon. So it's going to be tough for him to defend. But look at this. I love this play. He went for British tongue for the follow-up here, and he's sending a commandery forward to give some additional firepower and a military drop point for potentially the next 5 Sentinel. And longbow going forward, going to snipe these Musketeers. Commandery is actually under siege. Is Keturboy going to commit to this? I don't think he can. It builds very quickly. He's going to lose a couple Musketeers for that. Maybe just one, actually. And now, oh, he canceled Wigna Court constructions earlier. Now it's coming in. And a depot going to be going on that commandery. So that's going to boost the attack of these units, but also act as something defensive to make Keturboy think twice about going in, or actually force him to not go in at all until the Falconets are here. Very tight macro from Keturboy. As you notice, he's going to get 2 full batches of Musketeers and very little spare resources behind that. But these Sentinel, with this depot, are going to be even stronger. 26 attack. It's going to increase their rate of fire. And I believe it even increased their HP, right? Boost attack speed. Or maybe it's just attack speed. Okay. Either way, these guys are pretty strong at this point. Fortress Age has been reached from Keturboy. He's got 2 shipments available, but no population. Dropping a house very quickly. Longbow's getting a little bit too far out. Falconets are on the way. He's got another shipment available, but he's going to have to wait 40 seconds until he can send it. He's trying to save this barracks, but I don't think he's going to be able to. He'd not even have veteran Musketeers in queue, and I think this is a good fight for Julian. He looks like he's got the numbers and really the stat advantage as well. So very, very good fight for Julian. Keturboy queuing up veteran Musketeers, but that's never going to make it. That is not coming in. And he is in a bit of a pickle with 0 military buildings. Dropping a barracks at the front of his base, which is a little bit questionable, but with the Falconets coming, I think both players understand that's actually going to be safe. What will his next shipment be, though? This is going to be pretty crucial as you want to get some additional pressure. 5 Lancers. I was thinking not many other options you have at this point. Huss raid going in, or picking up the Explorer for Spain. More Sentinels in queue, and 700 coin on the way. How many settler wagons do we have? We have 4 of the 6. You can train a couple more, but Julian being very careful not to get too greedy. Depot here. I don't think Julian has started the detonation process, but okay, there it goes. It's going to be blowing up any second now. Damaging everything around it. I can't tell if it actually damaged the commander. I clicked a little bit too late. But we do have Order Hussar in queue from the forward commander. These guys are pretty strong units. Basically like consulate units. They do cost a little bit more. And positioning is going to be everything here. If Julian is in fact calling this engagement and the timing to go, this is going to be a massive fight to potentially decide the series. Looks like he's going to try to finish the batch. Does he have a house going up? He's going to get four Order Hussar. Falconet's not really well protected. Sneaking back, though. Sentinel is going to be focusing on it. One of them going down already. I don't even think there's been a shot yet. Finally getting one off, but is it going to be enough? Hussar trying to go around the back. The dogs are all popping out, but the Falconet will go down, and now there's just Musketeers and dogs. Sentinel, Longbow, and Order Hussar are dwindling down this infantry mass that Keturboy has not been able to reinforce because both barracks went down, and that is a solid hold for Julian, sending in 4 Order Hussar and is able to send the Spanish military packing with that defense. Okay, now what is the follow-up here? 4 more Lancers were sent from the Spanish home city. He's going to go veteran Musketeers. It has come in. He's producing more. He's going to add in an artillery foundry. He's going to have a shipment available very soon. So Keturboy, while looking like he's lost a few of these engagements, is definitely not out of this game. He has a solid shipment that's going to be coming in. It's going to be 5 Hus, so some nice cavalry presence will be there. He's going to have Musketeers, and he's going to really try to squeeze out a second Falc, though it's probably going to be difficult to do so, especially if he wants to get some dogs. Might have to cancel Greatcoats if he wants to sell all his food for a coin. It's going to be very close, but I think maybe just 1 Falc. Age up's coming in for Maltese. He does have hospitality, which increases that age up time and also gives a cheaper upgrade at the hospital. Actually, all upgrades at the hospital are cheaper. And he hasn't repaired that commandery just yet. Probably wants to do that. He still can make 1 more Southern Wagon, but every resource matters. And look at that. Keturboy was able to squeeze out 2 Falcs. So solid push going to be coming here again. 2 Falconets, vet muskets, and quite a bit of cav. He's going to want to add in those dogs as soon as he possibly can. And now 9 Sentinels coming in with veteran Sentinels. And he's got an artillery foundry. He's already training a Culverin. How does he know? Oh, he scouted that. How did he even scout that? Oh, he had some longbow. Wow. Such crucial information that I think he even kept secret from his opponent. I think those longbow got just close enough to get in line of sight of that artillery foundry, but he didn't want his opponent to know that he knew. So the Culverin, it is in queue, but it's in a tough position. Sentinels popping from that commander. You're gonna, ooh, I thought they were gonna take a shot from the Falcons, but not quite. And that artillery foundry is the focus of all the attention right now. Switching over to the Sentinels here. These guys around defensive buildings, they have 242 HP. They are pretty tanky, especially compared to the veteran Musketeers. Trying to buy time to get that Culverin out, but also taking a pretty good exchange. Julian is thinning out that Musketeer line, and here comes that Culverin. It's going to be forward. It's going to be an aggressive Culverin. And he's going to get almost both at the same time. 2 Falconets go down. These Musketeers are pushed back yet again. And these Sentinels are looking very strong. Maybe this is why they cost 2 population. Absolutely insane. Really good defensive units. They lose that boost, though. Some of that boost as they back away from their defensive buildings. He was going to send 8 Sentinels, but now opting for infantry attack and hit points. It's going to boost them even further. Now training Falconets to take care of the, well, he doesn't know yet, but they're incoming skirmishers. And more veteran Musketeers going to be coming for Keturboy. This is going to be a nice situation for some micro advantage here for Keturboy. He can take advantage of the range, but these longbow are actually pretty annoying. Auto Shadow upgraded to age 3. These guys have 124 HP and 20 damage with their 30% range resist. They're giving these skirmishers a pretty tough time, being very annoying with that extra fast rate of fire 1.5 versus the skirmishers 3. Oh, and no, we have Musketeers getting caught and then deleted from Keturboy. He has had enough. It was a great defense from Julian with the Sentinels, and Keturboy has had too much frustration in the past few games, a few mistakes, but really in this game, Julian just had a fantastic defense, a fantastic game plan, and the timing push, putting that commandery forward with the longbow and really putting Keturboy in a difficult situation. He just knew that Keturboy was going for the age up and took full advantage of it. Taking out those barracks, losing 2 military buildings to Spanish is very, very difficult. And you're going to want to produce things as soon as you hit up to age 3. And he couldn't even get veteran Musketeers. So put Keturboy in a very awkward situation and was able to take this series deciding game 9. Congratulations to Julian. Congratulations to Keturboy too. He played a really, really strong series and was just so close to taking this finals over one of the best players to ever play the game. Really speaks to the level that both of these guys are playing at. Any single little mistake can totally change the game in a 5-4 series. Really, really awesome tournament and finals here for ESOC. You couldn't really ask for more. A best of 9 going all 9 games. Thank you guys all for watching. Thank you for ESOC for putting on these events. All the commentators, all the producers, everybody organizing behind the scenes, everybody that took part in this series, and everybody that supported financially this tournament. This has been super fun. I'm so glad we're still able to do these things all these years into this game's history, and hopefully we have some new history coming soon, as it appears maybe that there could be some back-end development for maybe a patch, or who knows, maybe a DLC. I can only wish, but I can't say thank you enough to everybody that's been involved with this, and hope that we have more bright years ahead of us with potentially some new content. Would be lovely. Thank you guys for watching this tournament, watching all these tournament series on my channel. Thank you for watching this series. Hope you enjoyed it. Go check out ESOC. Go support them. Go thank them. And we will see you around. Hope you guys enjoyed everything. I'll see you in the next one.